Hi guys! So today Jaimie and I have decided that we're gonna make jam.
Wait, did I decide that?
So to get really hot wood, we have to climb up to the top because it's easier to throw wood down than it is to drag it up. So I'm gonna climb up this cool rope that Jaimie made. And made it. Okay, let's go get some wood. Those of you sitting out there in Wonderland might be wondering, what does hot wood look like? Well, gee, Jaimie, I don't know. Can you tell us what it looks like?
Yeah, pretty much any hardwood. And in this particular forest, just about anything that doesn't have needles on it. Anything with leaves instead.
Awesome. Look, Jaimie, it's a tree, and it's going to let it so I can cross this snowy river without falling in. Yes! We made it safely to the other side. Hey, what's the best method for getting a tree that looks like it should come down? Down.
Use the barbarian method.
You mean like I should like break it? Whoa, that was cool.
Oh, good job.
We're gonna throw all the wood off the side and then pick it up when we get down there. Found this big piece of wood. So Sarah came up with this brilliant idea to go to the bakery at the grocery store and ask them for their frosting buckets. So the frosting buckets had food in them, so that means that they're really good to grow gardens and to collect water. In order to get water, those of you who may have seen Jaimie's videos know that we had to get out of this cool cement igloo. So we just take our bucket, and we don't want to mix up a lot of dirt, so we just really carefully put it in there, and then slowly fill it up. A little dirt got in there, but that's okay. And then pull it out, and voila, we have water.
Well, what do you do if you want water with no dirt?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. If you want water with no dirt, there's this tube right here that we don't want to touch because we don't want bacteria to get on it. But the water comes right out of it. See, it's coming out on my finger, and it's nice and cold, and you can put a container underneath it and fill it up, and then you can drink it.
Oh, you're like a barbarian or something.
Rah!
What's that?
It's birch bark. I'm making it in shreds so that I can light it to light the fire. Now we're going to cut up the jalapenos to get them started for the jam making session. What I have to do is I have to cut the tops off of each one, like this. And then I cut each jalapeno in half, like this. So I have two halves. And now I have to cut out the seeds. Once I've done that for one of them, I'm going to have to do it for 12 more. Fun. I've cut up all of my jalapenos and I've gutted them. Now they have no seeds in them, except that one has a little bit of seed. And they're ready to be boiled in some sugar and apple cider. Here we have our large pot filled with water, which we're hoping is going to start boiling soon. Inside the pot, we've set a couple of metal objects that would lift up the jars that we're going to set in so they're not touching the bottom so they don't burn and break. I'm going to place the jars in one at a time using my tong mechanism so I don't burn myself. I make sure that the water fills up the jar, and then I set the jar all the way in the water. So now I'm going to put in my last jar, and if you want to see what I'm doing here, fill up with water and set it inside. So I've got 3 little jars all in the bottom. I'm going to come over and see what it looks like. And the last thing I need to make sure we sterilize is my lids. So I'm just going to set those right in there. And later I'm going to show you something cool as to how to get them out. Now I need to puree up these jalapenos. I've already started, so we're just going to give it a couple more seconds of it. Next we need to add a cup of apple cider vinegar. Now we were only able to fit a half a cup in here because it's not a very big food processor. And we're going to go ahead and dump that puree right into the bowl. Now we're going to add our last half cup, making a whole cup. We're just going to pour that right in there. Just like that. And we're going to get out our hand food processor. We're going to go ahead and finish processing this. So you see here we've got a nice pureed base. We're going to go outside and put it on the fire and add some sugar. See you in a bit. So the jalapeno puree has started boiling, as you can see. And we're going to let it boil for 10 minutes. We've added our fruit pectin. And we're going to bring it to a hard boil for about 1 minute. And then we're going to go ahead and take it off the heat. Amazing. Ooh, rolling boil. We're going to do that for about a minute. Then we're going to take it off the heat. And we're going to put it into some jars. Yay, jars! I'm pulling 1 jar out of the hot water. And I'm taking the jelly and I'm pouring it into the jar. I want to make sure that I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch at the top. And this looks like it's just going to be enough.
Ooh. Hey, look, there's a couple over there too.
Yep. And now I'm going to take the lid. And this lid's a little bit different because I had to kind of improvise. So we're just going to hope that it works. And it's going to go over with the other 2 jars that we have. And as you can see, these are regular mason jars, so they already have their seal lids on. So I'm going to go ahead and put a screw cap on each of them. I'm going to go ahead and put the mason jars back into the boiling water. And there's number 2. Number 3.
Oh.
And we got all 3 jars in there. We're going to leave them in there for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to pull them off and pull them out and let them cool down, and we got jelly. We're going to make strawberry jam now. Yay! First thing we got to do is squish up all the strawberries, which is what I'm doing here in this bowl. Now we're going to put the strawberries that we've crushed up by hand into our saucepan. And we're going to wait till it comes to a full rolling boil. And we're going to try to make sure that we stir it frequently. As soon as it's come to a rolling boil, we're going to go ahead and add the sugar and pectin. And then it'll boil for a total of about 15 minutes when we'll pour it into our jars and get it ready to cool. Okay, I'm adding our sugar, and we're going to go ahead and stir that in and let it boil probably for about 5-10 more minutes.